subject to this tax cut could be so much larger for the wealthiest people, for high earners, than it is for those people at the bottom of the bracket. So according to this bill, if you're making, $28,000 to $46,000 a year, your average tax change per year would be $7. We're going to go through all of this for $7 for somebody, but for the top 5% of Nebraskans who make between $242,000 and $559,000 plus, it could be up to $9,340 a year. Let me tell you something serious. For those top earners making nearly $1 million a year, getting that money back on their taxes, that to them is just a table at the Symphony Gala. That's not going to make a huge difference in their quality of life or the type of services and things that they need for their families. But for those people who are lower incomes and middle income earners, we say we're going to give them $7 back and we've done something really helpful for them. It's disingenuous. It makes no sense. The same people that are pushing this are the same people who are stomping their feet about property tax relief. And this is a complete misunderstanding of our tax and school funding system, and at worst, a blatant disregard of the political reality just to earn political points. Why do we want to remove a huge amount of our general fund revenue with this bill, flowing from the highest earners in Nebraska, when we know that the reason property taxes are high is because the state doesn't support schools enough? So please stop pretending that we're doing this because we care for people who struggle to support their families and put our money where our mouths are. Lowering the cost of living in Nebraska for the people at the lowest income tax brackets, that's what we need to do, because those are the people who really need it most. Also, let's talk about the other priorities, both for spending and for values and policy that we have coming up in the legislature here. We have money for a canal and a lake that nobody is asking for, that's costing millions of dollars. Oh, and who's going to go get properties and have their boats out on that lake and that canal? The top 5% of earners in Nebraska. To me, what we're basically doing is we're continuing to collect taxes from the lowest earners in Nebraska so we can build a fun park, Candyland, Adventureland for the rich in Nebraska so they can have another vacation home. We definitely need more recreation in this state. We need to do more to attract tourism. But cutting taxes on the highest earners is a really disingenuous way to say that we're going to do that. I have a bill in HHS that supports foster youth, because a study done by the Marshall Project found that many states across the country were applying for the Social Security income that foster youth are entitled to who make Social Security income. And if they do, it's because either they have a severe disability, or they have a parent with a disability, or they've lost a parent. They've had a death of a parent and they're in foster care. So these are the most vulnerable kids in our foster care system. And the state of Nebraska has been applying for their Social Security benefits, capturing those benefits, and using that money to pay for the cost of their care. So we have to steal money from kids, essentially, in order to take care of them, because those Social Security benefits are the property of those kids. But we need to cut taxes on the top earners. We can't stop stealing money from foster youth, but we can cut taxes on top earners and build a lake and ban abortion. And then we're going to turn around and keep going, why doesn't anybody want to live in Nebraska? It's so nice. Like, yeah, it's nice for you, probably as a top earner, with your new vacation home by the new lake. But anybody who's struggling in Nebraska, under 939, if this passes, nobody's going to go, oh my God, what a relief for me. These earners in Nebraska making, $28,000 a year to $46,999 a year. Their average tax change would be $7 under LB 939. $47,000 a year to $75,000 a year, $68. And proponents of the bill will stand up and say, Senator Hunt, $68 is a lot of money. That can matter a lot to somebody. And you know what? You don't have to tell me that $68 is a lot of money. I've been on Medicaid, I've been on SNAP, I've been a single parent for 10 years, and I know how to make money stretch. I know how much that money can matter to people. But let's stop pretending that we care about people who are struggling to provide their families when we're actually not working to lower the cost of living on the people who are struggling most. The millionaires are paying too little in taxes. The middle income earners are paying too much in taxes. It sounds like we agree on that. But what we need to do if we're serious about solving this problem is create more income tax brackets so that the tax burden is shared more equitably. Senator Linehan also didn't support Senator DeBoer's child care assistance bill. This is what families really need in this income range. Families making between $47,000 and $75,000, they don't want $7 back on their income taxes. They want child care assistance. That working family of 2 teachers that she talked about in her introduction of the committee amendment, I think that child care assistance would help them a lot more than $7 a year. Proponents of LB 939 are literally just out of touch with the experiences of most Nebraskans. I remember a couple years ago when we were debating a property tax bill and Senator Linehan exclaimed, "Since when did owning a home become a luxury?" As if it was like the most mind-blowing thing that homeownership was unattainable for so many people. With the cost of health care, with the cost of student loans, with the cost of being a single parent and having to pay for child care. What my people are asking for is not $7 back a year on their income taxes. They're asking for these policies that the legislature continues to block year after year, whether it's expanding food assistance, supplemental nutritional assistance program, whether it's supporting foster youth and not stealing their Social Security benefits to pay for their own care. Oh, and this is with no due process, by the way. The foster parents and guardians and lawyers have no idea that that's happening. The state just does it. LGBTQ workplace protections, accommodations protections, not getting in the way of decisions between a woman and her family and her doctor, saying that all this bodily autonomy stuff is all the same. People tell us all the time what they want to happen in Nebraska to make this a better place for them to live. And those are the bills that we block time and time again. But then with gusto and with enthusiasm, people stand up completely straight-faced, completely seriously, and they say, you know, if we don't get parity with other states and reduce taxes on millionaires and billionaires, we're really going to have a lot of trouble attracting people to Nebraska. That is absurd. Just say you don't want to tax rich people and move on. That's what it's really about. People are out of touch with the experiences of Nebraskans. And many people who are around this $30K income range, $28,000 to $76,000, many of those people are renters. It's incredibly hard to afford a down payment or a mortgage if you're making $30K a year. I don't own a home. And you know how frustrating that is? I pay between my business and between my home, I pay almost $4,000 a month in rent and costs and fees. But it's impossible for me to get ahead enough to get money for a down payment. So I could be paying, a $1,200 mortgage if I could come up with that down payment to get a house. People don't understand how expensive it is to be middle income and low income. What people want is services, yet we refuse to get rental assistance from the federal government. People who would be impacted by LB 939 who could go home with $7 more a year on their income taxes, those people are renters too, and we're turning down federal assistance that costs nothing to the state. And they're telling us that's something they actually need. Please get real. Also, if I never hear the phrase ownership society again, that would be fine with me.
Time, Senator.
Thank you.